Okay, Dave, we should get this podcast recorded. It's getting pretty late. We need to get it done so we can get it edited. And Dave. Hey.
Wait, what?
What are you doing?
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. I was listening to my JBL Club Pro Plus True Wireless in-ear headphones with noise cancellation technology.
Ooh.
I couldn't hear a word you were saying.
Yeah, because I just make noise.
I know, thanks to our good friends over at JBL for sending them to me. I was actually thinking after the podcast we could maybe listen to some tunes on our JBL Extreme 3, which has just been released, also from our good friends at JBL. Thanks to our friends at JBL for sponsoring the channel and the podcast and all that for this month.
Awesome.
Fantastic. Let's get into it.
Oh, cool.
Let's do it.
Yep, good.
Eat my shorts.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Dave Lee Down Under podcast. I'm, of course, your host, Dave Lee. Let me get this microphone closer. It was a bit too far back on the desk today. Always stuffing up my intros these days. What's going on? Welcome to the show. This is episode 27.
Getting a bit too comfortable, I think.
I'm getting too comfortable. Could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. It's episode 27.
27! My favourite number.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
That's my old football jumper number.
Oh, well, there you go. Well, technically it's
One of
episode...
them, anyway.
Technically it's episode 28. If you count that old pilot. Yeah,
No, I don't count the pilot.
No, okay. 27 today. Podcast, of course, goes out on... you can join us every single Monday here on the podcast. It goes out on all podcasting platforms, including Apple, Spotify, Google, Amazon Music, and Audible. The visual element is available to view on YouTube on the same day, but that goes out 2 days early to Patreon supporters. If you want to support the Patreon, head over to patreon.com/Dave Lee Down Under. You can support for as little as $1 a month.
Cheap ass.
Yeah. We've migrated video podcast to a second YouTube channel now, though. So if you're looking for the video podcast, there's now the YouTube Dave Lee Down Under podcast specific channel. So head over there and hit subscribe on that too, because we've got to get the subs up, we've got to get the views up, so I can get my monetization back on the podcast.
You have a link from the
there'll be a
original,
link. There'll be a link on the main channel.
on Dave Lee Down Under.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's all down at the bottom of the descriptions and shit. If you're watching, you're listening, there's links.
Awesome.
So there you go. You can get there. But yeah, we've got to get...
I'm not going to go looking for it.
No, you got to get... we got to get everything back up so I can monetize the podcast again.
Yeah, exactly.
Because right now, I'm not making anything on the podcast.
Nothing.
Now that I've moved it to another channel. Not that I was making much on the podcast to begin with.
Like a rule.
But there's nothing now until I can get that monetization back. So I'd really appreciate that. You can, of course, find me on YouTube.
Were you even making enough to buy a Macca's meal?
Yeah, probably. Well, no.
Probably not.
Well, maybe for one person. No, probably not. Maybe a month. You could probably afford a Macca's meal a month.
What Macca's are charging this?
Well, yeah, I know. Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. Of course, you can find me on YouTube at Dave Lee Down Under, over on Twitter, Instagram. Links down the bottom of every podcast. If you want to write into the show, you can shoot an email to daveleepod@gmail.com. Got another couple of emails this week, which is lovely. People are starting to use it. People are starting to use it, which is great. We got an email in this week from Natalie over in Texas.
Texas.
Yeah, South Texas, I think she said. I can't remember. I read.
Should put my cowboy hat on for that.
Yeah. I haven't replied to that one yet, but I will get back to you. So thank you so much for writing in. If you're listening to the podcast, if you're listening on podcast platforms, the audio, you can leave a review and a rating. It does help.
I think we must make Texas one of our next trips when we get to America.
Yeah, no, I really want to go to Texas.
Yeah.
I'd love to go to Texas. So as I said,
next time we go to Statesville.
I know when we can get back over there.
Oh, yeah. God knows when that's going to be.
I know. Texas. I'd love to do the South, just the South of America and Texas,
Alabama and all that sort of stuff.
That stuff would be great.
That'd be good.
Yeah, but we did.
Memphis.
We've done a lot of it. We've done Memphis and we've done all up both coasts. Sort of went along the top a little bit.
San Fran, LA,
yeah,
of course, Hollywood,
Vegas,
did Hollywood.
we
Vegas, Memphis, Chicago, New York, Boston, Washington,
DC.
DC, yeah. Washington DC, that's right. And Orlando.
Yeah, Florida.
I
think that's about it.
That's about all.
Gosh.
Done a bit
of it.
Probably done more than a lot of Americans have actually done of their own country.
Probably.
Like they'll come out here and they'll see more of the country of our country than what we've seen of it.
Well, yeah, exactly right. I've done barely any of our own country, which is bad. You missed your cue before. I said you can leave us a review or a rating.
Oh, yeah. Only the good ones.
Only the good ones. That'd be good. This week was a bit, what do you call it?
My voice is sounding a bit funny today, isn't it?
Yeah, you sound like you got a bit of a cold, actually.
Oh, I just woke up with a bit of a sore throat this morning.
Yeah, you've had one for a couple of days now.
Oh, I was really sore this morning.
It's a bit of a worry.
Had to get up early this morning because it was so sore. I thought, God, I
no.
better get up.
Uh-oh.
I feel good. I don't feel
social
cool.
distance.
Yeah, no.
No, I had a bit of a cold at the beginning of the week, though.
I'm not running a temperature or anything like that, and I don't feel crook or anything.
Yeah.
So.
We're up late.
What are the chances in Australia?
Well, knock wood.
Yeah, exactly.
But we were out late last night because
Yeah,
we
that's
were visiting family, and then
as our premier Dan says, on the beers.
yeah, and then we got home late and realised that we haven't watched Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
So we're up until what, 1 o'clock or something?
Yeah, 1 or 2 watching that, and then I had to do a video, and I don't know. But yeah, I had a bit of a cold. I didn't know whether it was a cold or whether I'd been hit with hay fever or something at the beginning of the week.
It was probably more hay fever for you.
I think so. I'm feeling fine now. It was like 1 or 2 days where I was just really stuffy. I got a bit
Mine
of
could be hay fever too, but I don't.
Probably. I've been hearing a lot of
fever.
people are getting really bad hay fever at the moment, so it could be
I
that.
don't normally get it though.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Anyway,
it is what it is.
yeah, we should be all right. There is a lot of colds going around at the moment. Apparently, now that people are starting to get a bit more,
Adventurous.
Yeah, the colds are coming back because last year there was no colds because everyone was the precautions everyone was taking to stave off the COVID.
Yeah, well, we were all staying at home, weren't we?
Yeah.
So
staving off all the colds, but now everyone's out again. There's colds running rampant and all that stuff. But yeah, I think for me it was more of like hay fever. Anyway, but other than that, it's been a bit of a non-eventful week. Not much really going on. I had a I don't know if I can say what it was yet, but I had a game show audition yesterday.
yeah, that's right, you did too. Yeah,
yeah, I love game shows. I love game shows. I was on Millionaire about 6 years ago.
Yeah, fucked that up.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I knew I would.
You had the right answer, but gave the wrong.
No, I didn't have the right answer.
Oh, no,
that was the wrong answer
right.
anyway.
Yeah, no, you did
no
too.
one won money on my show, so I felt a little bit better. Yeah, I did the hot seat, Millionaire hot seat, so it's called here. 6 years ago I'd done that. That was a bit of fun.
Was that 6 years ago?
Yeah.
Shit.
2014.
God. Doesn't feel like it was that long
Yeah,
ago.
I know. That was fun. I just love game shows. I'm always auditioning for game shows. That's the only one I've ever got on, though. I auditioned
You
for
were
one.
one in England, didn't you?
Yeah, I auditioned for Tipping Point over in the UK. I didn't get through. I've auditioned for The Chase before. I've auditioned for... there was one on the ABC
I was
called...
it was an ABC.
Yeah, the Hard Quiz, I think it was called or something.
That's right.
I feel like there was another one. I don't know. But I've auditioned for another one. I don't want to say what it is or anything. But I had fun at the audition. I went in and they did like a mock version of the game. And I should hear back within a couple of weeks if I get on. I don't know. We'll see what happens. So it was a bit of fun anyway.
Yeah, it'll be
Had to
funny.
go to the studios and all that stuff. And I got to the studio early. And they don't let people sit in the parking lot for too long. I was probably there like 45 minutes too early. So the guy was like, "Oh, sorry, you have to leave and just like
Well, if you
do
can go
laps."
postal or something.
Yeah. No, but he was like, "I'm sorry, these are just the rules." I was like, "That's fine." So I had to go and do like laps of the city,
Drive around the city.
that back end of the city just for ages, and then come back. But it was fun. I had fun, and I'm waiting to hear back now. We'll see. Zavi, whoa. We're keeping people updated on my massive Zavi order.
again.
I ordered 12 discs from Zavi, even though I've said I'm not ordering from them ever again. I keep giving my business because
It's the only
sometimes,
place you can get some stuff.
yeah, well, sometimes, again, they do deals that you can't get anywhere else. And particularly for, like, the Criterion discs that I buy, which are, like, the premium Blu-ray label. They're so expensive, and the only way you can get them for, like, essentially what's, like, 50% off is through this deal that they do on like HMV, which I can't order from, or Amazon UK, which I can't order from, and Zavi. So I got to order through Zavi, sadly. So I placed an order. The problem, of course, if you've been listening, you know Zavvi, you place like a bulk order and they send them all out individually. So I ordered 12 discs. They sent 6 discs out 2 weeks ago. And then the week after, they sent out another 4 discs. And then this week, they've sent my final 2 discs. So they're all out there in the wild. I received 2 really quickly. I'm actually really surprised how quickly these came.
And the others just haven't appeared.
The others haven't appeared. Well, these came out with 4 others, as I said. 6 came out
at the same
time, and I've only got 2 of them. What is going on? Now, I was speaking to James, who is one of our listeners and longtime viewer of the YouTube channel, Patreon supporter. He ordered a bunch from lovely guy, all-round guy as well. And he ordered a bunch from Zavvi. I think he ordered like 12 discs from Zavvi as well. And he got 6. He got his first 6. So we got all his first 6. They sent his out in like 2.
But where's he live?
He's in Melbourne as well.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. So he got, I think they sent 6 of his out, and then they did the same thing. They sent 6, and they sent 4, and he's still waiting for like another 2. But he said, yeah, he got his first 6. All came together. But me only got 2. So where the hell are my other 4 gone? This is what I'm saying. Every time I order from Zavvi...
They're listening, Dave. They're listening, and they can hear that you're slagging them off.
Yeah, no.
Let's make this stuff go slower. We get more advertising
like
out
I
of
said, their stuff, they send them all out individually, which is annoying, and then they either, because their packaging's so shit, they arrive damaged. These 2 have come in pristine condition. I'll give them that. I'm happy with that.
Just for change.
And they came very quick. I will give them that this time. But the other 4 that came out with them haven't turned up yet. And these came here on
Monday. That have been sent
Monday.
at the same time.
Yeah, have been sent. Yeah.
She said came at the same time.
Oh, no, the other 4 that was sent at the same time as these 2 aren't here. But these came on like Monday. So I've been waiting a week. Or Tuesday.
Yeah,
so I've been waiting a week. I don't know where the other ones have gone. But anyway, so we'll see if the other ones have gone missing. Sometimes they go missing. I have to get a replacement. Sometimes they come damaged.
Well, they probably, they came into Melbourne, then they got sent to Sydney for sorting, and then up to Brisbane for sorting, and back to Sydney, then out to Queensland, out to West Australia, and then back to Melbourne.
Yeah, no. Look, Zavvi is okay. It's just that their practices of shipping shit out individually is really annoying, and it results in a lot of problems, which is obviously beyond their control. They can't control whether the stuff gets damaged. I mean, they could probably put stuff in better packaging or box everything up together to begin with and avoid that.
Yeah.
And they can't control if stuff gets lost in the mail. But what I'm saying is the more packages you send out, the more chance there is of shit getting damaged or getting lost in the mail. So, yeah, there you go. So I don't want them to come down on me with lawyers or anything. But everything I speak is the truth.
Exactly right.
It's the truth. So we'll see. Anyway, I keep giving them my business. But we'll see. This week, I didn't watch a lot this week because I was either sleeping in again or...
You had a couple of big sleep-ins this week, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, because I did the Space Jam trailer.
That's right.
I stayed up and did... I talk about this on the podcast all the time. I try and get up really early every morning, watch a movie every day before I get into work. Out of the massive pile of stuff that I got to watch. And last weekend, I covered the Space Jam trailer, which dropped at 12 a.m. I had to do like a big breakdown video. I was up till what I thought was 5 a.m. doing that, but because the clocks went backwards...
That's right, we came out of daylight savings.
We came out of daylight savings. Technically, I was up to what should have been like 6 a.m.
Yeah, that's right.
So I completely fucked myself. And by the morning, that's probably why I was sick too at the beginning of the week. Probably.
Yeah,
That wouldn't have helped.
Just worn out.
Just worn out. Yeah. So I slept in like 2 or 3 mornings. As you hear, if you've been a long time listener, you know that if I have one of these all-nighters, I'm fucked for like 2 weeks. So I've been sleeping in, I've been lazy, I've had a lazy week, and I've just otherwise busy or been doing cartoon news. You know, when the news drops here in Australia, it's morning. It's like overnight. So by the time I get up, I see all this news and I got to do cartoon news like first thing in the morning. So anyway, a bit of that stuff. So we watched a little bit, but not a lot. I think the only movie I got in the morning this week was Bloodsport. You know who's in this?
Probably Jean-Claude.
Yes.
Jean-Claude.
JCVD, number 1 Jean-Claude Van Fan over here. I checked out another one. This is, I've heard this is like his greatest film of all time. It was terrific. It was terrific. He does the splits like every second scene. Like if you needed to know Jean-Claude can do the splits really well, you watch this one.
He could do that.
Yeah, watch this one because he is doing it almost every second scene.
I don't know how a bloke can do that. Seriously.
Every time I see her die a little bit, I'm like,
I don't know how anybody can do it.
No. Oh, gosh.
See a bloke doing that, just a little bit of me dies.
Yeah. Just a little bit. There's this scene where he's like doing it. He's in a hotel room and he's got 2 chairs like spread out and he's doing it on the chairs.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And this guy comes in. He's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Oh, jeez, yeah, crazy." But anyway, it was a bit of fun. It was not one of those crappy ones that is just fun. It's just stupid. But the soundtrack to this, I don't know. I don't get it. If anyone understands what's going on here, let me know. There's this soundtrack, and it must be running through the last like quarter of the film. Like the last act of the movie is like this underground fighting champion. So it's sort of like a Mai Tai kind of thing, you know, that really full on like underground, like Asian, like martial arts kind of thing. Where it's what that UFC kind of spawned
like
from.
Mixed martial arts.
Yeah, so it's like this underground tournament thing. Anyway, the soundtrack is like really 80s, as you can imagine. But every like 30 seconds, there's this really weird meow.
Oh, what?
Sound like a cat. Like it's like meow. Yeah. What the hell is that? It went on for ages, like the last act of the movie. I was thinking, what the hell is that? It's like a cat. Meow. I don't know what it was, what instrument it was, or this weird sound effect they used. Thinking, what the hell? My favorite part, this guy gets killed in the ring. This crazy martial artist, like, whoa, like the guy that's got like the belt, like the champion, like he kills this guy. And there's these great shots of the guy just lying there dead and he's breathing. It's like he's not even making an attempt to hold his breath. You just see his chest is going up and down. Like what are you doing?
It was I forget what film it was. There was some film we watched a little while ago.
Yeah,
where there was a woman that had died and she was laying down, and the same thing, you could see her chest.
Yeah, just like it wasn't even given. Yeah. Oh, man, crazy. So, yeah, that was fun. Bloodsport, I enjoyed that. That's probably up there with one of my favourite JCVD films so far. So that knocks him up a little bit more. It gives him a bit more leverage to be number 1 actor of the year.
One of those.
On my little box.
One of your more favourite ones. Is favourite really a word you use for the J?
Yeah, of course it is.
JC film?
Of course it is. That was all I got in this week. We watched a couple last weekend. Now, we're kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel of it. We got hundreds out there. Other than the pile that I dive into every day, we've got another pile of hundreds.
The stuff that we've bought over the years and just haven't gotten around to watch.
So we kind of scraping. I think
it's been this last year's been good because there hasn't been a lot of new stuff come out. So we're able to go
through the old shit.
A fair bite out of it.
It's been sitting there for like 5, 6, 7 years.
Well, exactly.
So we're kind of scraping that. I think we just felt like something a bit lighter this weekend. I don't know why, but we kind of scraping. I think we put them on a little bit late. I don't know. We watched one called Flypaper, which had Dr. McDreamy.
Yeah, what's his name?
It was in my head before I said
Dempsey?
Dr. Yeah, Patrick Dempsey. He was in it. And Ashley Judd.
Ashley Judd, yeah, that's
like
right.
a whole lot of other people are in it as well. It was all right.
It wasn't great,
about what I expected.
It was easy to watch.
I think I fell asleep in the middle of it.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, you probably did as well.
No, I didn't during that one.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on half the time, but it was okay.
Yeah, it was all right.
I think I was just tired. That was the day after Space Jam.
Don't rush out and buy it and watch it.
No. It was all right. And then we watched one called Letters to Juliet, which had Amanda Seyfried.
It was a cute little film.
Vanessa Redgrave.
Yep.
And Amanda Seyfried.
Yep.
Yeah, I liked it. It was nice. Okay. It was okay. It's not
the best part of the film was the scenery.
Oh, yeah, lovely. Out in Italy.
Yeah, some beautiful scenery in it.
Yeah, where were they?
Verona.
Verona, of course, where Romeo and Juliet is set. But yeah, that was all right. I quite liked that. Nice little, cute, charming little film. I like Amanda Seyfried. She does some good stuff. But that was it. We haven't watched anything like really new. I watched a couple of DC movies. I got in a couple of my DC animated films this week because I've been trying to power through like my 30-odd.
Well, I was going to say there's a few there to get through.
There's so many there. So I'm trying to watch one every few nights. I watched Batman Assault on Arkham, which was that one where he teamed up. Well, I didn't team up with them, but he was like going against the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I remember
Harley Quinn and the Joker and all that shit. The Joker wasn't in the squad. They were trying to break the Joker out of the asylum, I think. Yeah. I don't know. Or he was there. Can't remember what they were doing, but the Joker was there, and Batman was trying to stop them from doing whatever they were doing. I don't know. But it was
I think I was just drifting in and out of that one.
Yeah. I think you have been for most of them.
The Harley Quinn ones I didn't. They were
the series, it was good.
Enjoyable.
It was all right. I enjoyed that one. I think it would be fun to see like a Batman versus Suicide Squad film. That'd be fun. I'd like that. And then I watched Batman Under the Red Hood, which was really fucking good. That was the one with, I don't know if you were asleep.
Probably.
Where the Joker kills Robin, and then it's set like 6 years later.
Oh, yeah.
And this like guy appears, like this villain appears with a red hood, and they try and figure out who this guy is. But the action scenes are so good. The animation was amazing. Like explosions and shit. It was
the animation on all those has been great.
Yeah, so good. Really loved it.
And there hasn't been a bad one yet.
No. That was probably, for me, that was probably the best one so far that I've watched in terms of animation stuff. Really liked that one. TV-wise, I can't say a lot. We've watched a few more episodes of The Mighty Ducks I've been given from Disney Plus.
Yep.
For review purposes. I can't talk about them until the week that they go out.
Yeah, that's right.
This week that you listen to this podcast, the episode 4 goes out, so I'm allowed to talk about that episode as of Monday, which is the day this podcast goes out. But because of the Patreon early access, I can't talk about it this week. Right. But yeah, based on the first 3 episodes that we've watched, it's been a really good show.
Yeah, that's right.
The first 3 episodes, terrific.
Yep.
Can't say anything else about episode 4, 5, and 6.
No.
Just yet.
No.
We've also watched a few episodes, first 3 episodes of the series that's coming out in a couple of weeks. No, this week. Comes out this week. I'm embargoed until Monday again when this goes out. So I can't say anything about it, but I will be putting up a review. In fact, I've probably put up a review. No, my review will be going up after the podcast goes up.
Right, okay.
But again, because of the Patreon early access, I can't talk about it.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so it's a new series called Big Shot. It stars John Stamos, and he is brought in as a coach of a college women's basketball, high school basketball team.
School? Yeah, high school. Girls basketball.
High school girls basketball, which is judging by the trailer, the very good trailer.
Trailer is
very good trailer. John Stamos, I love John Stamos.
Oh, he's fantastic.
He is fantastic. But Big Shot, can't say anything about Big Shot specifically just yet. I'll talk about that soon. I will have a review up for Big Shot.
But the trailer is good.
The trailer is very good. Yes. I like the trailer, and it was like, this is something that I would like to watch. So I'm going to, when they sent out the screeners, I said, yes, please, I'll take them.
And I thought, I think I might enjoy that.
Yeah. So yeah, Big Shot.
Can't say whether I have or I haven't.
No, exactly right. But judging, but like that trailer was like, this is a decent trailer. I will ask for this show. So anyway, I can't talk about it. I can talk about it when this podcast goes out to the public.
Yep.
But I can't because of the patrons.
Bloody patrons.
I know. What we can talk about, though, is the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the one we watched last night. Well, we record the podcast on a Saturday. So technically, the day that we're recording this should be going out to patrons.
Yeah, exactly right.
Because of my little game show jaunt yesterday.
It's funny, we both thought of that same word.
Weird. Oh, there you go. Been doing this too long.
Yeah, exactly.
Because of that, we couldn't record on the Fridays we usually would. But yeah, yesterday's episode was fucking good.
Yeah, it was good.
Oh, so good.
It was good.
It's getting really good now.
Yeah.
Getting really good. A lot of people have been complaining again, of course. Oh, they shouldn't. They should have just made this into a movie. It's long. It's boring. It's shut the fuck up.
Don't watch any of it.
Shut up.
And when it's all
exactly
all
right,
out, then watch it as a movie.
Yeah, I get it. It is. It's hard to watch. I think it's harder to watch this one segmented than it was WandaVision.
Yeah.
So I get it. Yeah. I get the complaints, but I'm enjoying it. And just if you don't, and if that bothers you too much, just wait another 2 weeks.
Exactly right.
and
then
just
watch the whole lot together.
Exactly right.
And I think the part of the reason for it is the production values.
Oh yeah.
Because the production values on this stuff are so damn good.
So good.
It's movie quality.
Well, yeah. Well, you sit there and you're watching. Well, particularly these ones because they're 50-minute long episodes.
Yeah.
You feel like you're watching a film. And then at the end, you're like, oh, shit, I was watching TV. But I feel like it still doesn't have like that, WandaVision, you get 20 minutes in, 25 minutes, and then it finishes and you're like, oh, shit. Like, it's like really jarring.
Yeah.
It doesn't have that. It does feel like self-contained, 50-minute things. Yeah. But yeah, it's just like, oh shit, yeah, I'm not watching a movie. I'm watching
it's a little
TV
bit of a cliffhanger at the end, making you want it next week.
Yeah, I love it. It's really good. I love it. This week's was fantastic. I have to say, I'm loving what they're doing with John Walker, who is the new Captain America.
Yeah.
Everyone hates him. Everyone hates him, but it's that character you love to hate.
Yeah, exactly.
And the fact that everyone hates this character really shows that they've written the character.
His character took a
massive turn last night, yeah. Won't spoil it for anyone, for those who are waiting to watch it or whatever, but
get on it, yeah.
They're doing some good shit.
It was a good episode.
But yeah,
with him.
The fact that everyone hates the character shows that they've written this character so well.
Yeah.
Like, that's the intention.
Yeah.
Like, I think a few people at the beginning, maybe people who maybe didn't have an understanding of the character in the comics, because this guy in the comics is essentially, again, same thing, after Captain America dies in the comics, this guy is brought in as the new figurehead. He's called the US agent, and he takes a bit of a twisted turn, and when Captain America comes back, they end up fighting, and he relinquishes the title.
Yeah.
Well, he takes the Captain America title, and then Captain America comes back and then whatever, and then he relinquishes the title, something like that. So people who know the comics and stuff understand where this character was going, but I think a lot of people who might not have that knowledge assumed that they were actually making this guy the new Captain America in the MCU. So a lot of people getting really pissed off. But now I think people are starting to see where it's going. Yeah. Really good. And I tell you who else I love, Zemo. So good.
Which one's Zemo?
Zemo, man. The guy that they've like broken out of jail and then he's helping.
Oh, yeah. He's a good character.
Yeah. I love Daniel Bruhl.
I
love
he's
Daniel Bruhl.
He's a good character.
Yeah. Because he was in Civil War. He was the one that tried to break the Avengers apart in Civil War. I was always annoyed. They didn't do much with him, but this is like the perfect example of Marvel finally paying off something that they set up like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
So good. And I always loved that character in the comics too. Baron Zemo, who was in the comics, he wore like a purple mask. So in the one of the first episodes of this, when they introduced him, they called him Baron Zemo for the first time. I was like, fucking yes. That's good. That's why I had that.
Well, I've never read the comics, so I wouldn't know.
He's a really weird character in the comics, and he does like weird time travel shit and whatever. But he's like one of Captain America's biggest adversaries, like in the war and all this shit. Anyway, so I like where that's going. You know what else we watched TV-wise this week? Deadwood update.
We're back, baby.
We done it. Yes,
we're back, baby.
We're back in the swing of it. Tuesday night.
It's all Sam's fault.
Yeah, Sam guilted us. Sam guilted us. We're back onto it.
First episode, season 3.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad.
It was okay.
That's Jackson was right, the world's worst manager. He was right. You got to watch one a week. Yeah. One a week.
One a week. It feels better. It's like, all right, Tuesday night, Deadwood night. Let's whack it on.
Mind you, we did get to Tuesday night, and you said to me, "Oh, it's Tuesday. It's Deadwood Tuesday. Oh, do we have to?" Well, yeah, we've got to do it. Sam will get pissed off if we don't.
Yeah, so we're doing it. NSA was okay. There's been a bit of changes in this season.
Shit, I took my hat off.
You took your hat off. Oh, no. There's been a bit of changes in this season, I think, because they changed the director, apparently, so the visual style is very different. They're using different camera angles.
Yeah.
The lighting
noticed that straight away.
There's a lot of, like, the lighting is a lot brighter. Everything just, like, that I feel like there's a lot of, like, really close angles, too. It's just weird. It just looks visually very different. But I reckon what they were probably doing was like, fuck, people hate this show now, so let's change it up a little bit and try and...
It's just like, they've probably fucked up. We fucked up season 2. Let's try and fix this and save it.
Try and breathe a little life into it. I think. Yeah, too late because it got axed, obviously. Spoilers.
But that first episode, season 3, was okay.
Yeah, it was okay. I was still boring, but it was okay. It was more interesting.
Like the whole... the way it was shot, the production, all the stuff was better.
Yeah, for sure.
It was better.
Yeah.
But we noticed that straight away as soon as
it was like,
looks like it's shot different.
So I got on Google, I was like, Deadwood season 3 look different, and I put up like a Reddit thread of people like people were like, does this season look different to you? Yeah. They got a new director, whatever. So there you go.
There you go. So we're back. So this week it'll be episode 2, season 3.
Yes. There we go. So we'll get through it. There's like 11 episodes left in the movie. So we'll get through it in another 12 weeks.
Yep, we'll get it done.
Not long. We'll get there. Hey, you want to play another round of Shite or All Right?
All right.
I love this.
It's the game show that everyone's loving. On
Well,
the
we are
podcast.
anyway.
Well, we are. I didn't hear much feedback on it, but
We must work out a way to get some of the subscribers involved in this.
well, yeah, exactly right. Send us. Oh, yeah, that'll be good because okay, let's talk about it for
I
anyone.
reckon sorry, you on.
Well, I was going to say, for anyone who wasn't listening last week, there's our new game show. It's called Shite or All Right.
All right.
Okay, and basically, we pull up a random film. We each will pull up 2 random films on IMDb. We play 2 rounds each. And how IMDb works is it's got the URL imdb.com/ and it has like a catalog number, which is 7 random
7
numbers,
digits, yeah.
which is obviously decided by however the movie's been inputted, whatever. It starts with 00, and then from there we just make up a random number. We pull up a couple of really fucking obscure things because there's so much shit on IMDb. There's thousands of movies and TV shows out there. You're most likely going to land up on some weird, obscure shit.
Yeah, exactly.
So the
right.
idea is we pull up 2 random, obscure movies, and we take it in turns. We read the synopsis of the film to the other person. The other person has to decide whether the film is shite or
All right.
dependent on the synopsis alone. No titles, no character names, no actors or any of that.
That's right.
So it's like the old judging a book by its cover. So it's a bit of fun. We had fun with it last week, so we're going to do it again today. The decider of whether a title is shite or right is dependent on the IMDb score.
That's right.
So 0 to 5.9 is shite. 6 to 10 is
All right.
And how we came to that, those who haven't,
Yeah.
who just knew, is that when we go shopping for movies and shit, we'll get on IMDb and look at ratings.
Yeah.
Right? And if it's below 6,
Yeah.
we'll think twice.
About buying it, yeah.
Depending on who's in it and all that sort of stuff. We bought a couple, 5.2s and 5.1s
Yeah.
or whatever, and they've actually been okay.
Yeah.
And we've bought a lot that are over 6 that have been.
shit. Oh, yeah, shite.
So that's how we've determined what's shite and all right.
Yeah.
So anything below 6 is you got to think twice about buying.
Yeah.
Anything above 6,
Yeah.
we'll go, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Let's try it.
It's usually the deciding point.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we can get what you're going to say. We can try and get subscribers involved.
So I reckon what you can do is probably they can send in a catalogue number. They can find one, just send the catalogue number in.
Yeah.
And we can go, you can take some and I'll take some
Yep.
and we'll look through them and go, we'll use this,
Yep.
we'll use this, we'll use
Yeah,
this.
let's do that. All right, so send any random IMDb catalog numbers into, send it to me on Twitter or Instagram or wherever you can get to me, daveleepod@gmail.com, whatever. And
So what is it?
we'll
It's
get to it.
IMDb.
Well, it's IMDb. If you look at it, it's literally just like imdb.com/title/TT00 and then another 5 numbers.
Right.
So it's 7 numbers. So anyway, if you go to any IMDb title, you'll see that formatting of every title. So just give us like a random catalog number, TT00.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's play a round of this. Who wants to start? Do you want me to start this week? Because you started last week.
Oh, did I? Okay, yeah, you start.
All right, I'll start this week. We're going to have a look at this one right here. Okay, so I'll read
I
you
won't
the
look that way so I can't see you.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to read you the synopsis to this. You got to decide whether it's shite or all right. Okay, so Quarry. Oh, I've already read the character name, but it doesn't matter. Actually, yeah, okay. Quarry is a mysterious, articulate stranger who draws a cult-like following of local hippies. Rather than showing them peace and love, he has more sinister plans for them as he is a vampire.
Oh, Jesus. Just go again, just quickly.
Quarry is a mysterious, articulate stranger who draws a cult-like following of local hippies. Rather than showing them peace and love, he has more sinister plans for them as he is a vampire.
That sounds like absolute shit.
So you're going to go with... you're going to guess shite?
Go with
yeah, you got it right.
It just sounds...
It is shite.
Anybody in it?
It has got... No, it hasn't got anyone in it. Robert Quarry. Oh, so Quarry is the name of the actor. Robert Quarry, Bill Ewing, Brenda Dixon, John Fielder, Bobby Pickett. Don't really know any of them. John Fields is a name I know, but that's about it. This is a film that came out in 1972. It is, of course, a horror film, and it is called Deathmaster. It's got a 5.4, which settles it perfectly in that shite territory. Yep. Okay, you're next.
Okay. In Transylvania...
Oh, we got another vampire one.
Transylvania. In Transylvania, a vampire scientist and his oafish assistant wanted a brain to transplant into a robot. And when Inspector Clouseau arrives at their castle asking for directions, they decide to use his brain. Clouseau flees and they chase him around the countryside.
Well, you're giving me a character title there, so I know...
but it's not that Clouseau.
Really? Oh, so it's not like Inspector Clouseau's in the Panther, Pink Panther.
No, it's not.
Oh, shit. So
it must be just a generic French
well, maybe.
cop.
Well, maybe it was like one of those... I know Hammer Horror did a lot of movies where they like used like character names and stuff, classic character names and shit, and just kind of like did their own version of the characters. So it could be like that, or as you say, it could be just a random French... Oh, so they want to read it again. They're going to implant a brain.
In Transylvania, a vampire scientist and his oafish assistant want a brain to transplant into a robot. And when Inspector Clouseau arrives at their castle asking for directions, they decide to use his brain. Clouseau flees and they chase him around the countryside.
Okay, interesting. So it's funny because I thought that doesn't sound like any Pink Panther movie I've seen. But then I thought, because I did the animated version, I thought, maybe it was one of the cartoons. Oh, shit. It sounds really crap.
Well,
but it could be fun.
It could be. It could be the Inspector Clouseau.
It could be a cartoon, maybe. Well, if it's a cartoon, then I'm going to guess that maybe it's all right. I'm going to say it's all right.
You're going to say it's all right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you think it's all right?
Yeah.
But it may be shite.
But it may be shite. If it's an episode of the cartoon series, I reckon it might be all right, because it's a quite decent series there.
All
right, what's it called?
It's called Transylvania Mania.
Right.
And it is animated.
Yeah.
But it's only a short.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Made in 1968.
Yeah, so this is an episode of the Pink Panther animated series.
Oh,
yeah.
there you go.
There you go.
I didn't realise it was actually animated when I pulled it up.
That's all right. Well, there you go.
But yeah, so
that's all right.
7-minute animated thing called Transylvania Mania.
So that is a Pink Panther. Yeah, it's one of the Pink Panther shorts. That's all right.
There you go.
There you go. I'll read one now. All right. All right. Okay, this one. A zoologist is called to a construction site that has been plagued by snakes. He finds out that the place once was the ancient headquarters of a snake-worshipping cult, and that the same cult placed a curse on the grounds. Soon, the zoologist and the workers find themselves under attack by hundreds of deadly snakes.
Sounds as bad as snakes on a plane.
Yeah.
I think that's shite.
You think that's shite? That's your final answer?
Sounds like shite to me.
Think that's shite?
Yeah.
Yeah. Another stinker.
Just sounded like shit. Yeah. Snakes on a plane. What's it? 4.9.
It's a 4.9. It's called The Serpent Warriors. It's from 1985. It's a crime horror, and it stars Clint Walker and Eartha Kitt.
Oh, really?
Yeah, who was, of course, played Catwoman in the original Batman series. Yeah. And Clint Walker did a lot of these older films as well.
Westerns.
Westerns, I was going to say. War and Western films. Yeah. Ten Commandments. He was in Small Soldiers, apparently. The Dirty Dozen, of course. Yeah, so there you go. The Serpent Warriors, 4.9. Absolute shite.
Well,
yeah, do it again. Deserves it.
Just for Jack.
Yeah. Wacko Jacko doesn't like the
your next one.
Yep.
A black prostitute and
gosh.
a white revolutionary must form an uneasy I can't read this, so I'm reading it on an angle.
Yeah.
Must form an uneasy alliance when they are busted out of prison and are pursued by guerrillas, bounty hunters, and the army.
You won't believe it, but I think I know this film. I think I know the film.
Oh, because you're into some of the black...
I love the blaxploitation soul cinema stuff, yeah. This a Pam Grier film?
Oh,
or because you can
Can't answer that, can... Oh, yeah, I can ask... I didn't say that. You can ask an assist for one... You can ask an assist for one film, and the assist is that we can give an actor that's in it. I think Pam Grier's in this.
She isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yes,
you know it.
I know this one. It's called Black Mama, White Mama.
That's the one.
Yeah. I have seen it, and I loved it, but I don't know what the rating on this would be.
The rating on it is...
It's a shite, yeah.
5.6.
I thought it might be. Yeah, a lot of them had really bad ratings, but they're like cult films.
Some of them are great.
Yeah, they're really great.
Stuff.
I love the Pam Grier films.
Yeah.
Friday Foster and Coffee and what was that other one? Like the main one she did. Sheba Baby and just so good. Jackie Brown, the one she did with Quentin Tarantino. Yeah, well, there you go.
Brilliant.
I knew it.
You knew.
Yeah.
God, what are the chances?
What are the chances? There you go. As I said, you pull out some really weird, obscure shit, but sometimes you might know one. There you go. So that was this episode of Shite, or All Right.
All right.
Oh, it was a bit of fun today.
Yeah, it was good. All right.
All right. Okay, let's get into a little bit of news. There's been a lot that's dropped today, overnight particularly. I actually did this because we usually record on a Friday. I actually spent yesterday morning, as I usually would, putting the run sheet together for the podcast, and I had to add a bunch more stuff tonight because this morning because they added heaps of stuff overnight. Some of it we'll just skim through, but there's been a lot going on in Hollywood again. It's almost like it's another one of those turning points where all the studios have finally decided, oh, fuck, we need to make another decision what we're doing with these movies.
Yep.
That's supposed to come out in a month's time. So firstly, Paramount has delayed a bunch of their movies again.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Most notably amongst them, of course, Top Gun and Mission Impossible.
Danny, you'd be happy?
Danny. I was talking to Danny last night. Danny is a good friend of ours, my cousin's partner. And he's fucking loves Top Gun and Mission Impossible, Tom Cruise shit.
It's big time bogan.
But yeah,
just
of
like,
course,
yeah.
But he fucking loves Top Gun.
Absolutely
it's like his
loves
favorite movie. He watches it multiple times a year. Apparently, he had to, as soon as when he found out I had the 4K disc, he's like, we have to watch it. So he was over like the day after I bought the 4K disc. And he's like, we have to watch. So we watched it. Yeah, so Top Gun's been delayed. So obviously, I was talking to him last night. We saw him yesterday. And he was like, oh, Top Gun's finally come out in July. I was like, oh, yeah. He said, that's it. They won't change it again now, will they? I was like, well, I don't know. Probably not. It's getting a bit close. They've pushed it so many times. He's like, that's it, man. It's going to be July. It's going to be so fucking good. I wake up this morning to Top Gun. Top Gun delayed. I thought, oh, no. I texted him. I said, mate, you jinxed it. You've absolutely jinxed yourself. He's like, oh, you got to be joking. He thought I was joking. I was like, no, mate, this is for real. So, yeah, Top Gun Maverick has been moved from July to November. November 19 now. So it's like going to be like a Thanksgiving opening.
Is it a pandemic or?
I guess so because
it has to be.
I guess because things are still rocky. And Paramount haven't, because Paramount's got Paramount Plus. They haven't really made any announcement as to whether they were going to put their movies on streaming or theatres or that. So obviously these big tentpole ones, they want theatres only, and it's still not at the point right now where they can put these out and they're going to make a shitload of money because these are $1 billion films.
Oh, exactly.
Absolutely.
Right. They've got to make their money back on.
Yeah. And
you can understand them. You can understand that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Pushing it back to so they can make money.
Well, these movies probably have, I would imagine, 200-ish, like between $200 to $300 million budgets, and they would be banking $1 billion at the cinema under normal circumstances. So
exactly right.
They've got to just keep pushing them. Keep pushing them, particularly Top Gun.
Probably thinking, geez, we break even, we'll be happy.
Well, yeah, exactly right at this point.
Yeah.
So Top Gun Maverick, as I said, has moved from July to November 19. Mission Impossible 7 has been moved from November 19, which is the date the Top Gun's moved into, until May 27, 2022. It's been pushed all the way to like this time next year.
Wow.
Yeah, over a year. And then Mission Impossible 8.
They're both those films Tom Cruise?
Mission Impossible.
Yeah. And Top Gun.
And Top Gun, yeah. And then Mission Impossible 8, they've been filming them both like back to back. That was due out November 22, 2020. That was due out November for 2022. Now it's out July 7, 2023. So they've pushed it. Like it's just like we've been saying. It's like this is going to have ramifications for years and years and years.
Yeah, for sure.
It's insane, especially if they just keep pushing this shit. Man, fucked. So that's a big one. That's another big one. But I'm dying.
You wouldn't want to be relying on those films to make money to pay your mortgage, would you?
No. But obviously Tom Cruise has got such a big push. I imagine he's been going...
And a pocket load of money.
Yeah. Well, he's funded these bloody things.
Yeah, that's right.
Mostly. And it's his production company and all that shit. And
his boats they will live in.
Yeah. Man, so I think he'd have a big push of being like, nah, fuck, you're not putting these on streaming. But there's a couple of other Paramount ones, which was like a G.I. Joe spin-off called Snake Eyes, and a couple of other things have been delayed for months and months. Disney, however, though, have they've ramped up the campaign for Black Widow again.
Oh, really?
It's rolling again, finally. Well, because a few weeks ago they announced that Black Widow and Cruella, which is the 101 Dalmatians live-action thing with Emma Stone, they announced that they're going to cinemas on the dates that they had announced a while ago, but they're also going to Disney+.
Right.
So now Black Widow's around the corner. It's coming out on July 9th. It's coming out again, as I said, Disney Plus and cinemas. It's time that now they're like, we've got to start ramping this up again after they did a year ago. So they've released a third trailer for the film now. And this is the first trailer that specifically mentions that the film's going to Disney Plus, Premier Access, which is the one where you got to pay $30 for it. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people have been complaining in the past that they've had to pay the $30, but I feel like Black Widow's one that a lot of people probably will just want to pay at this point.
I would think so.
So that trailer, the third trailer went out, it got 70 million views in the first 24 hours. That's not a record by any stretch, because Endgame had 289 million in the first 24 hours.
Shit,
yeah.
Really?
So that's got 70 million, but that's 13 million more than the previous trailer, which was released last April.
Oh.
So the interest is still there, and people are maybe more interested now. It's like, fuck, we've just had WandaVision, we've had Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Give me another film. Give me a movie now. Right. So people are keen to get on that Black Widow train again. And I got to say, I've been one who's been like, I just don't care about this movie anymore. Not that I don't care. It's like I'm at the point where I'm like, I don't have hype for this movie anymore. Just release it. Just give it to me. But this new trailer was really good. And now I'm like, fuck yeah, I can't wait to see this movie now.
When it gets closer to being released,
I'll be hyped, man.
Yeah.
I'll be like a kid on sugar.
Exactly right. Red cordial.
Yeah, red cordial. That's what I was looking for. But yeah, really good. Really good. Can't wait. The trailer's very good, and I'm very excited again. Disney also released a third trailer for Cruella. Mm-hmm. Technically the second trailer, but in between the two trailers, they put out like an extended spot, wasn't Super Bowl. It was for one of the big football games. They played like a spot, or maybe it was like the Emmys or something. Or Golden Globes, whatever it was. They had like a TV spot. It was like an extended one, so it was technically like a mini trailer. Anyway, all of this has been in the space of a month. We've had like 3 trailers for this film. But this is coming out next month, I think, Cruella. I haven't written that down here, but I believe it's out next month in May. Again, this is the first trailer for Cruella that specifically mentions the Disney Plus Premier Access. I feel like this is one that people are going to be complaining about. That they have to pay the money for.
People just complain because they want to complain.
Well, exactly right. I'm interested in seeing it. It doesn't look great. I've been like on and off with the Disney remakes.
Will you pay for it though?
Me personally,
hopefully you'll get a screener.
Well, I probably will get a screener. Well, maybe because they're doing this because it's going to Disney Plus and cinemas. We'll probably get a cinema screening of it. I'd imagine.
Oh, yeah, maybe
from Disney.
Maybe.
Me personally, I don't know if I would pay $30 if I wasn't such a big Disney fan. I don't know if I would pay the $30 for it. I'm not sure. I still am of the mind. I think $30 might be a little much
for Cruella. Definitely
for that one particularly. Yeah.
I think I wouldn't pay that. for it.
No. Yeah, I don't know.
I won't be paying.
But again, I understand why they have to put that high price point on there. Exactly. And it's still cheaper than going to the cinema.
They're fucking stupid. Why put $30? Put $20 on it.
If you put $20, there'd be more people.
People are more likely to go, $20 is okay. But once you get to 30, it's like,
yeah, I know. But it's also like, I fucking lost my train of thought there.
Yeah, but no, I wouldn't pay $30.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't know what I was going to say, but yeah, it's like Yeah, a bit much. Especially when you keep doing it. It's like every couple of months there's another. Like the first one they did, which was like, I can't remember the Mulan. It was like, just pay it. I'm just happy to pay it. I just want to see the movie because we're sort of at the beginning of the pandemic still, a few months in. It's I don't mind it. It's fine. You understand why they got to charge $30. It's still cheaper than going to the movies. But now they're doing every few months. It's almost like, it's a bit much. It's a little bit much. I understand it would be, you'd be paying to see it at the cinema or whatever, but I don't know. Especially now that we know that like 2 months after they put it on Disney Premier Access, you can buy a digital copy of it on Apple or Amazon or whatever for $30 and keep it, or that it will be on Disney Plus for free in 3 months after you've paid the $30, So it's after all this stuff, you can kind of collate like more of a idea.
Yeah, so for me, that was Cruella. I don't care what I said. I'm not really.
No. Well, I don't either, really. I'm not a huge fan of 101 Dalmatians. I'm not a huge fan of the live-action ones they did in the 90s either. No, so I don't know. But I love Emma Stone, and she looks really good in the role. So I'm there for Emma Stone. But other than that, I'm not too sure about how
you had a bit of a crush on Emma Stone.
Yeah, I love Emma Stone. Love Emma Stone. She's great. It's funny, I was talking to Wacko Jacko the other day. He was like, you can tell your podcast listeners, I'll be there for Cruella just for Emma Stone. He's like, I'll chuck down $30 for Emma Stone. And Tim was like, oh, Emma Stone, my interest has peaked. But she's terrific. She's a fantastic actress, and I just love almost everything she does. Easy A. Do you remember Easy A?
Yes.
That is like one of my favourite like comedy films from like the last, I was going to say last decade, but it's probably more than 10 years old now. But I revisited that recently with Alicia, and Alicia loved it too. It's such a good film. Yeah, like, she's amazing. So I'm there for Emma Stone. Actually, that's what I was going to say. I was going to say, because Disney Plus don't reveal anything about statistics or anything, so we don't actually know how well the Premier Plus thing is going. There have been reports saying that Premier Plus has been a bust, but they're still persisting with it. So, and at that price point, so I don't know. I don't have this inside information. I'm just going on what I've heard. But yeah, so it's interesting. But here's another thing.
Do they not put it out because it is a bust, or they just not put any?
Well, that's the thing. You don't know. They don't put anything out unless it's like a really good, like, oh, we've broken a record. Yeah. Oh, this many people have watched it. Oh, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. This is the most watched. Yeah, I reckon, because they haven't specifically said anything on either of any of the films that have gone to Disney Premier Plus just yet. I don't know. But they have come out and confirmed that Jungle Cruise and Free Guy, these are two more of their big tentpole films. Jungle Cruise has had it bad, man. Jungle Cruise was supposed to be out in 2019, and then they pushed it to 2020 because they had it. I think they had it set for Christmas, Jungle Cruise, and they were like, no, they're so set on this movie being. They've obviously had really good reception from focus groups and, test audiences, that they were like, no, this is like a summer film. So they pushed it into 2020 for summer, and then fucking COVID happened, and they just had to keep pushing it. Anyway, they're adamant that's coming out July 30. Free Guy is a film that's been caught up in the 20th Century Fox, buyout. This is one of the last Fox films that was part of that buyout package. It's got Ryan Reynolds in it, and he plays a guy called Guy, who wakes up one day and realizes that he is a non-player character in an open-world video game, and he tries to escape. It looks really good. Looks really good.
Interesting.
But this is one that,
again, like Ready Player One sort of thing.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, so he's like in a video game, or it's almost like a open-world game, which is like Grand Theft Auto, where you can just like walk around. And just do whatever you want, right? And the non-player character is obviously just one of the just random people that's just in the game. Background, yeah. So he wakes up and finds out that he's a non-player character, but wants to become like the hero of the game. It looks really good.
Yeah, it does.
So this is a Fox film. It was supposed to be out ages ago, and it's just been caught up in this, like New Mutants was, and whatever else that just got caught up in this whole thing. And Disney keeps pushing it. They're obviously banking on this being a big film.
You've sold me, Dave.
Good. It looks good.
I'm sold.
There's a couple of trailers, and it looks really fucking good.
Yeah.
So both of those are coming out. Jungle Cruise July 30, Free Guy August 30. 13, sorry. They have confirmed that they are coming out on those dates, but they're going to theaters only. They won't be going on Disney Plus. Yeah, so interesting. Is this a sign that Premier Plus, Premier whatever it's called, Premier Access isn't working, or are they just betting on the fact that by this point things should be back to some kind of semi-normal, that they're happy to put them in theaters and not Disney Plus.
Well, here it might be okay. In the States, I don't think they'll be back to...
Well, no. Jungle Cruise is going to be huge. Jungle Cruise will be an enormous film under normal circumstances. It's got The Rock, who is the most bankable Hollywood star at the moment, Dwayne Johnson. It's got Emily Blunt. It's got Jack Whitehall. It's going to be fucking huge. It looks amazing. It looks like Pirates of the Caribbean, kind of like pulp adventure shit. I can't wait for it. I've been dying for this movie for so long. Oh, man. But anyway, so they're coming out. Interesting thing, though, Godzilla vs. Kong opened, and it opened to $50 million at the US box office.
Wow. That's all right.
Yeah, which is huge for, like, pandemic-era box office taking. It's the biggest opening for a film during the pandemic. It opened to $9.6 million on opening day in the US. It's taken in $286 million worldwide. So that's pretty decent taking.
They'll probably make money on it.
Well, they've probably covered the production cost. I imagine this is probably a $200 million film, maybe a little less, I'm not sure. But you also have to factor in the cost of marketing, which they reckon could also be the cost of the film on top of that. Yeah. And then whatever back ends and stuff. So they haven't made their money back just yet, but I think they probably will make money back on this one if it keeps chugging at this. It's seen as a big win for theaters. It shows that people are keen to flock back. People are happy to go back and see a movie in the theater, but some insiders are suggesting don't get too excited just yet, because it could simply just show that audiences just want to get out and see something. They just at this time, they're so starved, they just want to see something.
Yeah, exactly right.
So
how excited we were when we could go back into a cinema.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. This is really good.
And our first one back was fucking Peter Rabbit 2. I'm like, yes, back to the cinema. Peter Rabbit 2, I can't wait. But it was almost like a twist of fate, because that was the movie we were supposed to see. That was the next movie we had tickets to when the pandemic closed.
That's right.
Or when the pandemic closed everything.
Yeah.
And then, so it was...
Godzilla vs. Kong, they've got it down as budget, estimated $200 million.
Yeah. So it's it's made its production budget back, but it hasn't made it. I wouldn't imagine it would have made a profit just yet. But look, Godzilla vs. Kong was the perfect movie to get people back into cinemas. It's big, it's epic, it's explosive, it's so much fun, and people are loving it. So
that's one you really need to see in the cinema.
Absolutely, I think people have realised that, and just get out to a cinema if you can, and it's safe and you feel comfortable. And now many insiders are also saying that this is how important the theatrical window is. And they're saying that this is proof that this day and date model probably won't stick around after the pandemic. Now that it's showing that people are still willing to go and see a film at the cinema. I think it might be on a title by title basis going to the future. Big blockbusters, again, like Jungle Cruise, will be theaters only.
Yeah.
And then the smaller things, like maybe Cruella or whatever, will go straight to day and date streaming in theaters. I think that's probably what it's going to be like. But people are predicting that the window between theaters and streaming will close. But of course, we had Bob Chapek at Disney come out and specifically say just that a few weeks ago, where it was the window's going to close because people now view movies as content. They don't view it as a film.
Exactly right.
So it's people are viewing it as this piece of content that, where has it gone between me seeing it at the cinema and it appearing on streaming? Yeah. People see it as it's gathering dust. Whereas years ago, we'd see a movie in a cinema and we'd wait a year for it to go on VHS.
Yeah, that's
or 2 years to go on VHS. And the windows just get smaller and smaller. Yeah. It's down to about 3 months, 2 months now between theaters and streaming, or theaters and physical media. Bob Chapek was specifically saying this window between theaters and physical media, or theaters and streaming, people are viewing it why can't I watch the movie? Well, it's the way people are so used to consuming their content now has changed this whole thing. Yeah. It's insane.
Less people. I wonder whether less people are actually enjoying film on large screens.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's that generation behind you that watch everything off their phone.
On a phone, people are happy to watch a film on a phone.
I watch stuff on phone, but it's just little...
Yeah, just little videos on Facebook.
Yeah, exactly right.
Or YouTube, whatever. But yeah, I think it's this new generation that's coming through, or this new generation that's probably in their teens now, who are just so used to watching shit on the phone, and they're happy to watch a movie on the phone.
That's right.
Because when I was probably 16 was when the first, maybe a bit younger, the first like video iPod came in. I remember sitting in class watching movies on an iPod. And it would be me and Wacko Jacko and Tim. We'd be watching like Talladega Nights. Teacher come over, like, what are you doing? Like, we're watching Talladega Nights. He'd be like, you done your work? Yeah. Oh, all right, whatever then. Just let us watch our movie. As long as you did your work.
That was always your problem.
Yeah.
Get your work done.
Yeah. Early.
Before everybody else, and then mess up. And
you had to beat your teacher, though.
Yeah.
You had to beat your teacher. Yeah. This guy was fine. He was like, as long as you'd done your work, just whatever. Yeah. That was always fun. But yeah, so it's sort of, I think that generation just after me that's probably like in their mid-teens now are just used to that. Their whole life they've watched movies on a phone.
Just think about it. When they were like 2, 3, 4, 5 years old, they were probably sitting in the back seat of mum and dad's car watching stuff off mum and dad's iPhone.
Yeah, or an iPad or something.
Or an iPad or whatever, So that's what they're used to.
Yeah, now I'm feeling old. I'm feeling old again. It's happening again. But yeah, it is. It's true. That generation is now probably like in their mid-teens.
Yeah. Yeah, quite possibly.
Early teens or whatever, and just used to it. So that's like the future of the cinema audience.
Wow.
Weird. Now, Sony has made a massive deal with Netflix. Sony is the only one of the major studios that doesn't have their own streaming service now. Of course, Disney has Disney Plus, Universal, NBC's got Peacock, you've got Paramount Plus, Fox is part of Disney, of course, and you've got, what else is there? There is, Warner Brothers has their HBO Max. So all the major studios have their own streaming service. We said probably a couple of months ago, we're like, Sony is the last one.
Yeah, that's right.
When are they making their move? They've had like part ownership in a few, like Crackle, I think they were involved in. They were involved in something else. They had like a part, or they had some investment in.
Something to do with Stan as well?
No, I don't think so. I think maybe they might have had, I don't know. No.
They did.
I don't know. But they've had they've had fingers dipped in a few of these things. And it's just been a matter of time until Sony makes their move, whether that's start their own streaming service or whatever else. What they've actually done is they've made a massive deal with Netflix. This is from the Hollywood Reporter, because I'm too lazy to kind of say it in my own words.
It's probably saved them a lot of money by doing it this way.
Well, probably. So Sony, this is via the Hollywood Reporter, Sony has inked a multi-year exclusive first pay window licensing deal in the US that will allow Netflix first pay window rights to Sony Pictures titles following their theatrical and home entertainment windows. Studio announced on Thursday. The typical pay one window is 18 months. So it's not specifically like a model where they're going to put brand new movies straight to Netflix. It's this deal where all these Sony films will exclusively go to Netflix after they've been to theaters. Yeah. For theatrically released films, again, Hollywood Reporter, for theatrically released films, the 5-year pact will begin with Sony's 2022 slate, which includes Morbius, Uncharted, Bullet Train, and the sequel to the Oscar-winning Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. In the future, it will also cover installments from major Sony franchises like Jumanji and Bad Boys. Sources tell the Hollywood Reporter that the deal is worth roughly $1 billion to Sony. Ooh. Yeah, because we just know that Netflix just loves fucking throwing money around.
Oh, yeah.
Even if they don't exactly have it.
And they're probably bankrupt.
Yeah.
Still spending.
Close to it. The streamer will, again, Hollywood Reporter, the streamer will have the ability to also license the rights to select titles from Sony's library, which includes Columbia's near-century-old catalogue, as well as other studio labels, TriStar, Sony Pictures Classics, and Screen Gems. So it's like they've opened the floodgates to essentially the entire Sony catalogue, and this will be the place to go if you want to watch your Sony shit, Spider-Man and Bad Boys and Jumanji and all those big
great
kind of
shit.
things. Oh yeah, they've done some terrific stuff. The deal also means that Netflix has the option to finance a number of titles for the studio's motion picture division, which includes movies that Sony intends to make directly for streaming from inception or decides at a later point to license for streaming. So you can get a few original films on there as well that are Sony-made films. So you get some originals, you'll get some old shit, you'll get new stuff like 18 months after theatrical window, whatever else. So that sounds quite good.
Good on them.
So again, a huge slab of content from Sony. This will be your go-to place. It'll just take a little while for that rollout to happen, a little bit longer than, Disney Plus, where you wait 3 months after it's been in cinemas. You're waiting a little bit longer. Keith Legoy, Sony's president of worldwide distribution, says, "At Sony Pictures, we produce some of the biggest blockbusters and the most creative original films in the industry. This exciting agreement further demonstrates the importance of that content to our distribution partners as they grow their audience and their audiences and deliver the very best in entertainment." Netflix film head Scott Stuber says this deal not only allows us to bring Sony's impressive slate of beloved film franchises and new IP to Netflix in the US, but it also establishes a new source of first-run films for Netflix movie lovers worldwide. So that's
cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yes, that'll be exciting. So it'll be interesting to see, because it's obviously a US-only deal. It'll be interesting to see what happens with the Sony stuff over here. But you're right, they might have a deal with like Stan or Binge, or don't think it'll be Binge. Could be Stan, maybe Stan. They've got
a lot of great stuff now.
Yeah. I don't know.
I thought they had some deal with Stan, but it might have been some other studio. I can't remember now.
I don't know, but it'll have to happen somewhere internationally.
Oh, exactly right.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Netflix ended up picking up like worldwide for all that. It's like down the line. We were speaking about the Space Jam trailer earlier. Do you want to watch it and we'll talk a little bit about it?
Sure.
Space Jam 2. This is called Space Jam 2, A New Legacy. It's, of course, got the legend, LeBron James, legend of the court. And he stars against Bugs Bunny and all the Looney Tunes. Let's check out the trailer.
Welcome, King James. I am the king of this domain. The only way you're getting your son back is if you and I play a little basketball.
What is this? I need to assemble an elite team to help give my son back.
I know what you're looking for.
Welcome to the Space Jam.
Welcome to the Space Jam.
There you go.
I liked his characterization.
Yeah, the cartoon when he goes into Toontown. Because in the first one, when Michael Jordan goes to like the Toon World, he's just live action.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It's been a long time since I've seen that.
Yeah, whereas this one, LeBron goes
Toon.
Yeah, looks pretty awesome.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah,
A lot of the old gags,
classic gags in there.
Classic Warner Brother gags
Yeah.
and shit.
Yeah,
Pretty cool.
I think it looks great.
And it's good to see that Yosemite Sam's got his pistols.
Got his guns back, because people have been pissed off. Where's his guns? Yosemite Sam's got his guns.
Is Elmer in it? Elmer Fudd?
Elmer Fudd's in it, and he was pictured there at the beginning where you've got like the roster of the characters comes up on the screen and he's holding his shotgun.
Oh, awesome.
So they've got their guns back.
Haven't got too politically correct in it.
No. There is a whole thing going on that Pepe Le Pew isn't in the movie because there's been like all these questions about like whatever, like and he's like, but the reason he was taken out of the movie wasn't for any like politically correct reasons. It was just that apparently there was a scene that he was in it and he was being taught consent, right? So the idea was that they weren't going to put him in there, and it's not that they've cut him out because he is problematic. Because the way they were depicting him was as if they were saying, well, we understand the character is problematic. But they apparently just cut this scene for time. But now everyone's like, it's blown up into this huge thing where everyone's like, why have you taken Pepe Le Pew out of the movie? And there's a scene there where you've got fucking thousands of characters from all the Warner Brothers films. You've got like the Clockwork Orange people in there who are murderers and rapists and all this shit. So people are like, why can you put them in there and not Pepe Le Pew? Yeah. Well, again, if you were going to put Pepe Le Pew, if the reason they took Pepe Le Pew out was for those reasons, I would understand it. I would understand it because if you put Pepe Le Pew in there, it's almost like, and you depict him like he used to be. If you go back and you watch some of those old Pepe Le Pew cartoons, they are very questionable. Oh, exactly. It's very questionable. Yeah. And even me as a long-time Looney Tunes fan, I look at that and I go, yeah, I understand why this character needs to change. Yeah, you can include him, but you got to change the character. Yeah. And I think they had the right path with that.
But by changing it changes the essence of that character.
It does, but I think the way that they were going to do it in this film, where like they got to teach him consent. He was apparently hitting on someone at a bar, and then LeBron teaches him consent right at the bar. So I think that's a good way to do it, to kind of usher that into the new era, where it's like, this is that character, but his actions are not okay.
Right.
So anyway, that's not the reason that was cut. But I think that if you put that character in there as he originally was, it's almost like glorifying it. It's trying to say this is okay. But the fact that the Clockwork Orange guys are in there is almost just like, it's just a cameo. They're not glorifying them. You understand that they're bad characters. It's not like they're a lead. I don't know. But I feel like everything's just exploded too much and whatever else. Pepe Le Pew, geez. But yeah, I'm loving what I'm seeing in that. So many characters. This is why I was up till like 6 a.m. picking it apart, trying to upload my video in the end, and then it kept getting taken down by copyright. Oh, geez. But what do you think? Is there too much in here? Have they shoved too much? There's like
you get that feeling, don't you?
Yeah.
That they've just tried to jam everything
in there. There's dozens of Hanna-Barbera characters, scores of them. You've got King Kong. You've got, as I said, just like Iron Giants there. You've got like the Thundercats. You've got Game of Thrones, The Wizard of Oz, The Matrix, Batman, heaps of Batman characters. There's just random characters from heaps of other Warner Brothers films. There's a lot of shit in there. Is it too much?
Yeah, I think. If you want to sit there and try and pick them all out, probably. But their background, most of it are all just all background stuff. And they're all basketball audience crowd. But yeah, they jammed a shitload in.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff.
I saw your breakdown of it.
Yeah.
That you put up a few days ago, and just thought, Jesus, there's a lot in there. There's a lot of characters.
So I was picking apart for ages.
Yeah.
So I did one. There's a few breakdowns up there now. I did one. My friends Austin Burke and Chris Parker, 3C Films, did one. Chris's one got on the trending page. Bastard.
Did he?
Yeah. He got like 600. The last time I looked, 600,000 views or something on his. Yeah.
Good on him.
Which is awesome. But I watched his and I was like, shit, he's picked out ones that I didn't get. And then he watched mine. He's like, fucking hell, you picked out these ones that I didn't get. So there's just so much shit in there. And then
Maybe you should do a collab with him.
Then you look at Austin's one, and Austin picked out ones that neither of us got.
Wow.
So it's like there's so much in there. It's like it's so easy to miss. But yeah, there's a lot going on. I like the simplicity of the original film where you've just got the Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
But I like this. I think this is going to be fun. This is going to be a lot of fun.
It'll give you a lot to sort of, eyeball and sort of try and catch.
Exactly right. Yeah.
You see.
Yeah. But as you said, it's all background. I don't think a lot of these are going to be like main characters. You'll just be like it's like Ready Player One, how
that's right. Yeah.
Go into that thing and there's just like the DeLorean and the Iron Giant and just everything.
Yeah.
The Shining and all that shit. So I think it'll be background stuff. It'll be fun. I think it'll be good.
Yeah, I think it will be. But they've jammed a lot in there.
Yeah.
A lot of shit in there.
Yeah. Well, I was 5 when the first one came out, 96. So that's a favourite of mine forever, and I love it. So I'm really dying to see this one. It should be good. I think it should be good.
God.
But yeah, as I said, a lot in there. It's going to be fun to just pick it apart and stuff. Yeah. Here's a little bit of movie news announcements and stuff, and then we'll get to subscriber questions. Indiana Jones is back.
Oh, no.
This is one that has been like...
Leave it alone.
This has been like a long gestating thing for ages where it's like, it's happening, but when it happens, it happens.
Yeah.
There's a term in Hollywood, apparently. I just read the book written by Rob Paulson, who's a voice actor. Did just Animaniacs and like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and just dozens of things. And he referred to that because Animaniacs was produced by Steven Spielberg. There's this term in Hollywood which is called Steven time or Spielberg time. There will be projects that are in the works, but they're on Spielberg time, which means they're happening, but they happen when Spielberg decides he gets around to it because he's got so much on. I'll get around to it. So when they were told about the Animaniacs reboot, they were told this is happening. But it's going to happen on Spielberg time. Yeah.
Oh.
And then it was like ages until that reboot actually got rolling.
That right, hasn't he?
Oh, exactly right. He's earned it at this point. So this is a movie that's been on Spielberg time for quite a while. Years they've been talking about it. Spielberg's not even attached as a director anymore. He dropped out a while ago. Because it was gone through multiple scripts. They've had multiple screenwriters come in and done various versions of it. Obviously nothing that Spielberg was really passionate about, and he dropped out a while ago. James Mangold is going to be directing this. He directed Logan, Ford v Ferrari, 310 to Yuma, Walk the Line, Copland. So he's directed some really good stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of keen to see what like kind of gritty edge he can bring to an Indiana Jones film. Very disappointed Spielberg's not there though.
Spaceships in it.
Well, yeah, the fucking last one was dreadful, wasn't it? So that's why I'm like in two minds. I'm like, God, I hated that last one.
But it was okay halfway through.
Yeah, it was great for half of it.
And then the fucking spaceship appears and I just thought, you're kidding. What the hell?
Awful. So I don't know. I'm in two minds. I didn't like the last one. I'm a little bit off about Spielberg not being involved as a director. But I love James Mangold's stuff. So I'm going to, obviously, we'll give it a shot. Harrison Ford is back. Sure. This is probably the last time he'll be playing Indiana Jones, I'd imagine.
How old would he be now?
He would, I don't even know. Well, it'd have to be at least. Let's have a look. Harrison Ford, age, 78 years. I share a birthday with him, almost. And he was born 1942, so he'll be 79 this year. Yeah.
God.
So this will be the last time he plays Indiana Jones.
I think so.
Because they haven't rolled cameras. I imagine they'll start rolling very soon. Not to be ageist or anything, but like this guy's going into his 80s.
Oh, exactly right.
So by the time they've rolled this, and by the time it's out, it's July 29, 2022.
He's gonna be 80.
He'll be 80 by the time that movie's out, and by the time they start thinking about another movie. And look at the gap between this one and the last one, like 15 years or whatever it is. This guy can't be doing Indiana Jones at 85 years old.
It'd have to be his son or grandson or something to take
Well, they
it
tried
over.
to do that with Shia LaBeouf in
That's
the last
right,
one. They tried to like set him up as the next, and that never happened. But anyway, we talk about this because they've just announced that Phoebe Waller-Bridge is going to be part of it. She's going to be like the female lead of the movie. You would have seen her in Fleabag. She did a voice in Solo. We haven't watched Fleabag, but she's the lead star in that. I've got a picture of her there. You might recognize her. She's been in stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Solo, a Star Wars story. She did a voice in. She was in Goodbye Christopher Robin, Man Up, which was that film with Simon Pegg. She's done a bunch of TV stuff, so we've just seen her bits and pieces. She's very good. Apparently, Fleabag is fantastic. People love it. So it's like
we don't have it either.
show. Don't have it. No. I think it might be on Netflix or one of the streaming things.
I think it's one that I don't think you can get it on Blu-ray, can you? Yeah,
I think only DVD. I've seen the DVD. I don't know if you can get the Blu-ray though. But apparently, it's very, very good. I like her. I like her stuff. So I'm keen for that. And even though we don't have Spielberg on board, we've got John Williams is back. Now, this is a man who's been so prolific, and he just pumps out scores left, right, and centre. You know how old he is now?
Maybe 80-something?
89.
Wow.
He turned 89 this year. He's
still working. Good on him.
Yeah. Fucking good on him.
Good on him.
His scores are as good as ever. He did all the last Star Wars, right? The last trilogy.
Well, he writes to a formula.
Right,
Really,
exactly right, yeah.
So once you write to a formula, you're not going to get it wrong.
But Jesus, imagine that. Like 90 years old, you're still writing music like that.
Yeah.
And those scores for the last three Star Wars films were terrific. And like even creating like new themes and new motifs and stuff, incredible. Like Rey's theme from The Force Awakens obviously carries through this. He's like one of the best Star Wars themes ever written. And this guy is incredible. So he's going to be back. Now he's come out and said he's not doing any more Star Wars films ever again. That's it. So I imagine Indiana Jones will probably be his last, like Indiana Jones, obviously, whether they do another one ever again. But this guy's earned his retirement, but he obviously just loves doing what he's doing.
Could you imagine having done what he does his whole life? Like he would have been, in his 20s when he started, probably. So he's done it for the best part of 60, 70 years. Could you imagine the understanding of the structure of music he would have?
Well, this guy, right, if you look at his... I was looking at this not long ago, and because he's done all the work with Spielberg and Lucas and all that shit, you look at, like, as prolific a director as Steven Spielberg is, like, you look back at the films that this guy has scored, right? So I'm here on IMDb. He's scored 155 films. In the space of like 1974 to like 1980 alone, he did the soundtracks for Jaws, Superman the movie, Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Dracula, 1941, Raiders of the Lost Ark, E.T., just in that space of like not even 10 years.
Yeah.
Incredible stuff. Wow. Incredible brain on this guy. And he does most of Spielberg's films, of course, and he did all the main Star Wars films, and just incredible. So it's going to be great to have him back. And obviously, I was supposed to see him in concert.
Yeah, that's right.
This is one of those things I will always be so devastated about. He did a concert at the Albert Hall in London while I was over there, and Alicia couldn't get tickets for me when they first went up, but she rang them and was like, is there any way I can get tickets for John Williams? And they're like, well, closer to the date, we'll open more tickets up, basically. She's like, on the QT, on the down low. So when it got closer to it, she rang again and said, are there any more tickets available? And of course, people like return tickets and stuff, so more stuff. They were like, call back tomorrow. Tomorrow morning at certain time, call back. We're going to have more tickets on sale. So we rang back first thing in the morning, secured tickets. I was like, oh my God. I was thinking this is going to be the best night of my life. I was like, he was going to be doing all his the themes from all these films. I was thinking, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be fucking loving it. Star Wars, E.T., Superman, Back to the Future. Not Back to the Future, but fucking just all those fucking huge films that I grew up with. I'm going to be there. Indiana Jones, going to be there. He's going to be playing them all. He got sick.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he got ill and he couldn't come out, unfortunately, which is very, very sad.
Yeah.
You can't be angry or annoyed about it because the guy was sick
right.
And he's, as we said, he's nearly 90 years old. But it was just oh man, so sad.
Opportunity lost.
But he couldn't travel. He was sick and couldn't travel, which you can understand. They did still do the show, but they had another composer come out and do it. And they offered you can either go and see it or you can return your tickets. I considered it, but I was like, it wouldn't be the same.
It's not the same, though.
And I was thinking I would not have, because they turned into a tribute to John Williams, a night for John Williams. And I was thinking I would not have purchased the tickets if that's what it was from the beginning.
Yeah, exactly right.
And I knew
it's like going to see, an Elvis Presley impersonator.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. And I was thinking I would be sitting there the whole night going, this should have been John Williams. But I've played in bands before, symphonic bands at school and shit. And I understand that under a different composer, no matter, even if the music's written the same on a page, a different composer can conduct that music very differently to another one. And I was just thinking, even if it's minor differences, you would just know this is not John Williams.
Yeah.
So we passed on the tickets. And they played on the radio, actually. They did a live stream. So we listened to it on the radio. It was nice. But I was I'm glad it wasn't, I'm glad I didn't go. But yeah, that was so disappointing.
I don't think it's the first time you've ever said that you were in a symphonic band.
I don't know, it might be. Yeah, I played the saxophone for many years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it was all classical, wasn't it?
It's all classical music, yeah.
And away from that, you were doing jazz.
Jazz, yeah, jazz, and they didn't like it. They hated it. I remember playing, doing a warm-up one day, playing Blues Brothers. They came and, took my book off me. You can't be playing this here. I was like, what are you doing? They took it off. They're like, we don't like that. There was a jazz band there, but it was if you want to play jazz, you got to be on jazz band time.
Yeah.
Piss off, guys. And then I wanted to be in the jazz band, but you had to be in the symphonic band and the jazz band. I was like, I don't even have time for symphonic band alone, let alone jazz band as well. So I left the band in the end. Anyway, I haven't picked up the saxophone since, sadly. I reckon I could still play it, though. I reckon I could still play G, A, B, C, D.
I'm going to drag it out.
Yeah, I reckon I could play it.
I
reckon I could still play it. I can still read music. I can still read print sheet music.
Yeah.
I guarantee I could still play it saxophone. So yeah, I'm looking. I don't know. There's so much going for this movie, but there's also so much against it. Indiana Jones 5. I don't know. I think it'll be one that I get excited for when it's coming out and you see it.
Anything like the last one, I don't know about it.
Yeah, I know. Oh, God.
That was just appalling. It
was terrible.
First half was great.
Yeah, and then the aliens come in.
And then the aliens
Terrible.
come and it's for fuck's sake.
Here's a movie I am excited about, though. Just a little one that I thought I'd throw in at the end here. It's a movie. It's going to be called Ticket to Paradise. It's just been announced. It's from Universal. It's going to open on September 30 in theatres. It stars George Clooney, and Julia Roberts, who we talked about last week.
Yeah.
They are playing a divorced couple who come together to stop their love-struck daughter from making the mistake they once made. Along the way, they learn about surprise second chances. The daughter's going to be played by Billie Lourde, who is Carrie Fisher's daughter.
Oh, really?
And we've seen her in a lot of stuff recently.
Oh, yeah, we have too.
She was in
because she was in something we watched and you told me who it was. Oh,
yeah,
really?
Booksmart. I think she was like a really crazy party girl in that one. She's in a couple of TV series. I think she does the American Horror Story show now. There's a new one on Disney that's just gone on Disney Plus. It's called Scream Queens, made by the same creator as American Horror Story. And that looks really good. They've just put the first 2 seasons on Disney Plus Star. So I'm really looking forward to it. But yeah, she was in the last few Star Wars movies as well, just kind of as like a background character. I can't even remember the name of her character in them, but she's really good. And she's definitely got her mother's like charm. Yeah. That real sort of that wit and that and you look at her, you can see her mother in her.
Yeah.
For sure. So yeah, she'll be so I'm looking forward to that. I like all of them. Clooney, Roberts, Billie Lourde. It's going to be directed by Old Parker, who directed Now Is Good, Mamma Mia 2. But he wrote both of those as well as wrote The Best Exotic Marigold Hotel, which is a great film.
Lieutenant Connix, that's right, yeah, in Star Wars. And this makes 5... This is the 5th movie Clooney and Julia Roberts have been in together. Really?
Yeah. They did Oceans 11 and 12.
Yeah.
She wasn't in 13. Interesting. I don't remember that. I don't remember those movies, but yeah, apparently she wasn't in 13. She did Ocean 11, 12. She was Tess. Was she Tess in that? Was that her name?
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
They both did Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, which was terrific. That's the one with Sam Rockwell, where he's the late-night talk show host / spy.
Yep.
But they were like, Danny DeVito was in that.
that.
So it was like heaps of people, heaps of big actors. It was George Clooney's first directorial role.
Oh,
so
right.
he had all his mates come in. They just played like small roles.
Yeah.
So I can't remember if they actually shared screen time. It's been a long time since I've seen the movie. And they also did Money Monster, which was a movie from a few years back. Don't really remember it. We watched it though.
I don't remember it.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. That'll be good. There's not enough of these like little comedy kind of things anymore.
Yeah.
With like these classic actors that you just love. It's like
exactly
Clooney
right.
and Roberts, or like Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan or whatever those guys. So I love it when a little thing like this comes along.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So let's kind of go to cinemas and
We'll watch that.
we will watch that. I'm not sure if everyone out there that's listening will be as excited, but it's the kind of thing I love. It's funny now because I notice now that all these actors that I grew up with are like older now. And it's just weird for me to see it. It's almost like when I go back and I watch a film with like Humphrey Bogart or John Wayne, and you see they're a lot older than they were in those early days.
Yeah.
And you're like, these actors who are like this next couple of generations down are now in that phase of their career now.
Yeah,
where they're
that's
doing
right.
they're films as they're older, but they're still good and they've still got that charm. As someone like Julia Roberts or George Clooney, they still got that charm they had like 20 or 30 years ago. It's so good. So I'm looking forward to that one. Let's do a few subscriber questions and we'll round out the podcast for today. We've got quite a few in here, so we'll get through as many as we can.
Cool. Okay, we got another one from Living My Jeff Life.
Yeah.
Jeff B.
Also known as Jeff B, yeah.
Been around for years.
Yeah, forever.
How are you, Jeff?
Love Jeff. G'day, Jeff.
Hey, Dave. Jeff here.
Hey, Jeff.
Well, he's American, is he?
He is American.
Hey,
yeah,
Dave.
yeah.
Jeff here.
That's what he sounds like too.
Does
we
he?
spoke to him, remember, on that chat we did with the patrons.
Yeah, that's right.
Awesome guy. Great guy.
Well, as bad as that American accent I just did was, but anyway.
Yeah.
Just wondering if you've heard of a cartoon series called Novel Tunes.
Yeah.
Produced by Paramount and famous studios from 1943 to 67. I'm only asking because I can't believe I just found them in my 30s. Love from Pensacola. We're still recovering from Godzilla.
Good on you, Jeff. Yeah, of course I've heard of these guys, of the Novel Tunes. They were produced. Famous Studios was the... when the Paramount Studios... the Fleischer Studios were making cartoons for Paramount, and they were just wildly over budget on all these projects they were doing. Like they did their first feature film, went so far over budget. Their cartoons weren't making any money anymore other than the Popeyes. And Paramount, who were distributing their films and were part owners in their company, called the loan. They owned too much money to Paramount.
God.
Paramount called the loan and said, that is it, you're out of here. They took complete ownership of Paramount, of the Fleischer Studio, kicked the Fleischer brothers off, and they reformed the studio anew with all the old staff members and called it Famous Studios. And one of the first projects that they did at Famous was this series called Novel Tunes. Essentially what this was an older series that the Fleischers were doing called Color Classics, which was basically like a rip-off of Disney's Silly Symphonies, which were like short just like
Yeah.
one-shot short films. So Paramount and Paramount's famous studio rebranded these as the Novel Tunes, and they used this as a vehicle to produce short films starring the characters from Harvey Comics, which they had just bought a massive license to. So you've got characters like Casper the Friendly Ghost debuts in Novel Tunes, Wendy the Good Witch, Little Audrey, all these characters like this. So all those old classic cartoons with like Casper and Wendy and all that, they were part of this Novel Tunes series
right,
initially,
okay.
yeah. They did later get rebranded. They sold them off to like a TV syndicate. And the TV syndicate rebranded them and all this shit. So, Jeff, I would imagine you've probably seen a lot of these earlier, but they may not have been branded under that Novel Tunes name, I think. But, yeah, of course I've seen them. I've spoken about them quite a bit. I dived into it in the Casper Cartoon Evolution. But, yeah, there's some really fantastic cartoons in there, like Technicolor cartoons and shit. So
I wonder if that answers his question.
Probably. Yeah, I have heard of them, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, one from Tom Boudin.
Yep.
Have you seen many Coen Brothers films? Hasn't.
Yeah.
And if so, which are your favourites? I just watched A Serious Man and loved it, even though it was puzzling as heck.
Yeah.
My other favourites are Barton Fink, Fargo, Miller's Crossing, and The Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
Yeah, we haven't watched that one yet.
Buster
That's the one on
Scruggs, haven't
Netflix.
seen that one. No, that's
Yeah,
right.
it looks good. We've
Coen
seen-
Brothers got to be good.
Yeah, we've seen most of their stuff.
Yeah, I love this stuff.
Almost everything.
Fargo.
One of your favourites, yeah.
Fargo is one of my favourites.
Written down a few. Oh, Brother, We're Out There is one of your
We've spoken
favourites.
about that a few times.
True Grit is one of my favourite
True,
films
it's
of the last
fantastic.
decade.
The
even
Man
though-
Who Wasn't There is another one. No
Yeah.
Country for Old Men. That's
Love that.
a beauty.
You love this next one.
Inside Llewyn Davis. Yeah, that was a
Oscar
good film.
Isaac, terrific.
Yeah. Bridge of Spies.
Yeah.
Hail Caesar. Fantastic.
Yeah, so much fun.
Big Lebowski. Just a
Now,
classic.
I'm not huge on Big Lebowski.
Oh, I love it.
A lot of people hate me for saying that, but it's
No,
one that
I
I've
love
just not. I think I have to watch it again. But it's one that I just didn't click with me on my first view.
Yeah, and I was the same. When I first saw it, I was quite a bit younger. But when I watched it later, I actually really connected and thought, wow, it's a really good film.
What's his
really
name? It's terrific in that though, Jeff. Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges,
yeah, so good.
And what's his name? The big bloke.
John Turturro's in it. Oh, the big guy. Oh, John Goodman. Yeah, John Goodman's in it. Yeah. Forget that because they were the bowling buddies. Yeah,
that's
shit.
right.
Yeah.
Raising Arizona.
Yep.
Miller's Crossing and Barton Fink. Yeah, Barton Fink's a great film.
So good, yeah.
That's a great film. That's John Turturro in that one.
Yeah, John Turturro and John Goodman.
And John Goodman, that's right.
Really
Great
good.
film.
Really good.
So there you go, Tom. We have watched a lot of his stuff.
A lot of
their stuff.
Most of them. I went through their
exactly
IMDb,
right.
most
Great
of their
stuff.
films.
But we definitely got to do Buster Scruggs. I didn't know about that one.
Yeah, well, that was made as they were originally, they signed up to Netflix to make like a mini series, and they were going to do it was like an anthology thing, so each one was a different story, and then they were like, no, we're going to just make it a movie. So it's like an anthology film. So it'll be interesting.
Awesome. Yeah.
We also got to watch one called Blood Simple, which is their first movie ever. Apparently it's amazing. I've got it on Blu-ray, just haven't watched it yet.
Okay.
So we've got to check that out.
Next question. Razor Hyder.
Yeah.
Do you have a job outside of YouTube and your podcast? I'm curious because I don't know how to make a living out of YouTube, just YouTube.
I'm actually not allowed to go into specifics of like how much I'm making or what I'm making or whatever else. Is I actually against terms. I wouldn't anyway. But no, this is it. This is like full time for me at the moment. It does take a while to build up where you're making enough money you can live off. I'm not saying I'm making a heap, but it's like a comfortable thing. It's like sort of comfortable. I don't know, but it's enough to keep going and pay what I need to pay and whatever.
Buy your Blu-rays.
Buy Blu-rays and whatever else.
Exactly right.
But it is. It's not a thing that you got to go into expecting you're going to make a lot of money out of.
As well, we've said this before. People ask, how do you sort of make money and all that sort of stuff? Or you don't go into it, trying to make money. That's
it's
a bonus.
Something that's a bonus that if you're
persistent, if you're persistent and build and keep going with it, you got to have a good support network around you and all that sort of shit as well. So Dave's like he doesn't pay rent and stuff like that. So all those sorts of things help as well.
Shall I bloody move out? That's going to be the next thing. I was going to move out with Alicia last year. Well,
exactly right.
We were thinking about it, but then the pandemic, of course, my girlfriend lives over in England and we've been separated through the pandemic. So that's put a hold on us moving out and
it's been 15 months now.
Yeah. disaster. Anyway, but yeah, so it's like 80% of what I earn now is like older videos that are still ticking in the background.
Yeah.
So whatever I do every month is like just adding on top of that. But it's like, even like the biggest YouTubers don't make most of their money from YouTube, from AdSense.
That's right.
It's from sponsorships and all this kind of shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, every now and then I might get a little sponsorship that does pay a little bit, which is a nice little bonus, but it's not a lot. But I am full-time with it. I don't have another job at the moment.
No, that's right.
But yeah, so yeah, it's like, yeah, one of those tricky things.
And you got to be prepared for, money to be up and down month by month.
Yeah, exactly right.
So, yeah. Muppet Megamix.
Yeah.
What is your favourite Warner Brothers brand that isn't cartoons? And what is your favourite Nicktoon that isn't SpongeBob or Avatar?
Warner Brothers brand. Oh, geez. I don't know if it's a brand per se, but I love the classic Warner Brothers films. I think Warner Brothers made the best films in classic Hollywood, like their gangster films, the film noirs, the classic westerns, all that shit that like the Bogart films and James Cagney and John Wayne. Get your bingo cards ready for all these actors you've never heard of out there, guys. You can get your bingo cards at oldmaterick.com. I think that's probably my favourite stuff from Warner Brothers, like that those classic films. My favourite Nicktoon. What about you, Warner Brothers? You talk about Warner Brothers if you can think of anything.
No, not really.
Not really. No.
Batman? Maybe?
Yeah, Batman.
Yeah,
they got
Batman.
the DC stuff, yeah. Batman, Superman, all that shit, yeah.
Probably, yeah, Batman, Superman.
Yeah, I love what they're doing with the I don't love what they're doing with the DC
Like the
movies
Christopher
at the
Nolan
moment.
Batman. That was the best.
So
the
good.
best part. That was fantastic. Although Superman's my favourite superhero of all time.
Nolan,
but those Nolan Batman films are the best.
Gotta watch them again.
The best version of them.
I don't think we watch them in here.
No,
gotta do that.
I don't think we have.
I actually don't think I've watched Dark Knight Rises since it was in cinemas.
Wow.
I saw it in cinemas like 3 or 4 times.
Wow.
And didn't pay once. Can't remember why, but I didn't pay once. I got a screening.
Walked in the outdoor.
Huh?
Walked in the outdoor.
Oh yeah. No, I think I had like a critic screening, and then I must have had like a free, like a voucher thing, and then the third time I saw it with Lockie, and he had like 2 free tickets. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So I didn't pay for it once.
Fair enough.
Okay. And my favourite Nicktoon would probably be the Rugrats.
Oh yeah, without doubt.
Yeah.
Without doubt, that'd be mine too.
Or Rocco's Modern Life, which was I loved.
Yeah.
The little wallaby.
Yeah, no.
But Rugrats.
Rugrats was fantastic.
Yeah.
Tiny Man.
Hey, Tiny Man.
Haven't heard from Tiny Man for a while.
For ages, yeah.
Yeah. Favorite movie of the favorite movie of the year so far. Love your content and podcast, by the way.
Oh, I don't know
Thanks, Tiny Man.
Thanks, Tiny Man. I don't know if we've seen that many movies from this year. I'm going to sign into my Letterboxd. This is the great thing about Letterboxd, is that you can pull up your statistics, and it shows you what movies you've watched from this year. So if I go to my statistics, it'll pull it up. We got to go to 2021. Movies we've watched this year that have come out this year include The Little Things. It was all right. Tom and Jerry, Coming to America. Judas and the Black Messiah was very, very good.
Mm-hmm.
Godzilla vs. Kong was a lot of fun. Raya and the Last Dragon was great as well. And the Billie Eilish documentary, if you want to count like a documentary, was really great. I don't know. I'd say maybe Godzilla Kong is probably my favourite this year.
Yeah.
It's just a big, fun, stupid blockbuster that was just great to get back and see in the cinema.
Right.
I'd say Godzilla vs. Kong so far. Versus Kong. I've been slammed in the comments a few times because I've said verse instead of verses on my Cartoon Evolutions. People get really annoyed. Yeah.
Well, they're right.
Yeah.
Okay, next question.
Yeah.
Galactic lore.
Yeah.
I have 2 questions. Do you still like Star Wars?
Yeah, I do still like Star Wars, but I don't do content because it's not worth it anymore.
No,
I just hate
too much toxic
I just hate the
bullshit.
shit that goes on in the comments, and it's
exactly
just I just don't have a passion to talk about it anymore. So I enjoy my Star Wars in my private time these days.
Exactly right. And do you plan to continue pop culture evolutions?
I do plan to continue them. Of course, my first one did the Superman one. Didn't perform very well. It's slowly ticking.
It'll be a slow burn.
It had a spike this week, so it's going quite well. I will do pop culture evolution, but the idea for that was that I would just kind of rotate between them, and I would do them when when the
When it's
time
necessary,
warrants
yeah,
it.
yeah, sorry.
So I'll go between them. I don't know if I've got another one planned for a while, but I will return to that eventually, yeah.
Ellen Driver.
Yeah.
First of all, thank you for reading my question last week.
Pleasure, Alan. Thank you for writing in.
Okay, now for my question.
Yep.
Is stop motion still going to be a thing in the future? Aardman is one of the last companies to make stop motion animated films, but will they stop in the next 20 years?
Oh, I spilled what's left of my water. I don't think so. Aardman is a company that's been built on their stop motion animation, and I don't think they could survive without it. Even though it is like a really archaic form of making films, there's just something so special about it. I don't think they'll kill it off, even though it makes so long to make the films and whatever.
I think it'll be just something that becomes an art form.
Well, yeah,
that it doesn't really get, because everybody's into the computer animated stuff and all that sort of shit now.
Well, they're starting to do a little bit of it now, actually, computer generated stuff.
Yeah. So I think it'll as a major film format.
Yeah.
I think it'll die off.
Oh, yeah, well, you don't get that many
It'll
of
just
them anymore
be
anyway.
small.
It's just like as Alan said, they don't.
Art-house stuff.
They're really the only ones doing it now.
Yeah.
And you only get a film from them every 4 or 5 years. It takes them that long to make them.
Yeah, exactly right.
I think they'll keep doing
They
it.
did Chicken. Was it Chicken?
They did Chicken Run, yeah. Chicken Run and the Wallace and Gromit shit, and love Wallace and Gromit.
Well, that's great, isn't it?
Yeah. I think they'll keep doing it, but maybe in like a smaller, because they're doing a TV series at the moment which is completely CG animated. That's the first CG animated thing they've done in house. They have done a few CG animated things in the past, but they've been handled by other studios.
Yeah.
So now this new one is the first one in house. So that probably opens up.
Yeah. I would think it'll die off, and it'll only be something that students do, and small art house sort of.
I see.
Films
maybe they'll just do like short films.
Yeah, exactly right.
I don't know.
You won't have feature length. I wouldn't have thought.
It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see. One more.
Well, mate, Walther.
Buddy Walter.
Walther Saucer.
Yeah.
This has become a regular thing with him,
Yeah,
isn't
it
it?
has, Walt.
That's
Thank you so
fantastic.
much.
Enjoy that.
Yep.
Okay, now he wants to know whether we've seen some films.
Now he does this every week.
He has the last 3 or 4 weeks,
Yeah,
hasn't
he
he?
sends in a bunch of films to see if we've seen them or not.
Last week you missed out.
We missed out, so we've combined this week and last week together.
Yeah.
Because he did write in, but I got to it late.
Yeah.
He wrote it
That's
in
right.
after we'd recorded. So, we've got 2 weeks' worth of films here from Walter. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Walther, here we go, mate. Have you seen movies like Crimson Tide?
Yes.
Harrison Ford?
No, that it's got Gene Hackman and Denzel Washington.
Yep.
Yeah.
Phone Booth?
Yep.
What's that one?
That was what's his name? Colin Farrell.
That's right.
In the phone booth.
Yeah. Spy?
Yeah. I'm going to look it up. Spy. I don't know. No, that's that one with... Oh, no, we have watched that with Melissa McCarthy.
Oh, yeah.
Awful.
Yep.
Awful. Yes, watched it.
Date Night?
Yes.
Breadwinner?
Don't know what that is. So I don't think so, no.
This Is 40?
Yes, I love that movie.
That one.
Paul Rudd. That was the spin-off
right.
of 40-year-old Virgin, Knocked Up. The spin was focused on Paul Rudd's character. I love it. I loved it. Yeah.
Zathura?
Think so. I'm not sure if I ever watched the whole thing though.
I don't think I've watched it. 1 Hour Photo?
Yes, I love that
That's
movie
a
so
wicked
much.
film.
Yeah.
The Firm?
Yep.
Some Like It Hot?
Yes, absolutely. Marilyn Monroe.
Gandhi?
I don't think I've ever watched Gandhi.
Yeah, I've watched it. It's an epic. It's a
Long.
slog to
That's
get
why
through.
I haven't watched it yet.
Slog
I
to
got the
get through.
4K
Yeah.
in that big box set. The Columbia
It'll be
Pictures one.
beautiful on 4K.
Yeah. Holding up.
Straight Outta Compton?
Yes.
Yeah, very good film. Loved it.
Yep.
American Gangster?
Yeah.
Love it. Trainwreck?
Yes, that's the one with Amy Schumer.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
No, that's good. Yeah.
Very good.
Trainwreck and Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark?
Haven't watched it yet. Looks good though.
Romeo and Julia? It should be Juliet.
I'm going to look it up. Romeo and Julia. I think maybe.
If it's Romeo and Juliet, yeah, which version?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I don't know how
Well,
many
because it's got the
versions of them.
plus, I'm imagining it's the Baz Luhrmann Romeo and Juliet.
I would
Because that's
think
how
so.
that's stylized.
Yeah.
Love it. It's one of my
Yeah.
favourite movies of all
It's one
time.
of my favourites too.
Yeah.
Brightburn?
Not yet.
Royal Tenenbaums.
Yep.
That's a great film.
Yep.
This is 40. Oh, that was in last week.
Has he just? I feel like he's copied and pasted a lot.
Oh yeah,
I probably should have.
He has. This is 40s through a 1 hour photo. The Firm. Remember the Titans.
Yes.
Good film.
Yeah.
I know that voice.
Don't think so.
Know it. Kindergarten Cop.
Yes, absolutely.
Awakenings.
Yeah.
Glory.
Yeah.
Miller's Crossing.
Yeah. Yes.
Crazy Heart.
Yes.
And Enola Holmes.
No.
Never heard of it.
That was on Netflix. It had Billy Bobby Brown in it. Billy Bobby Brown. Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
And I want to say Henry Cavill, but I'm not sure on that. Enola Holmes. Henry Cavill, yeah.
Yeah.
It was on Netflix. It looks okay. She's like just Sherlock Holmes's sister or something. It looks.
Oh yeah.
It looks
That's right.
quite
Yeah,
fun.
it does look all right.
Yeah, we just didn't get around to it.
Oh, it's a
All right.
Oh yeah,
6.6.
All right. Yeah, 6.6. Well, we'll give that 2 hours and 3 minutes.
That's all right.
It's all right. Yeah, they came out last year.
Maybe
All right.
we can check tonight. Maybe.
We'll check that one out for sure.
Cool.
Well, that's it for the subscriber
Another day.
questions. And that brings the show to an end. I tried to get it under 2 hours today, but
Oh, it is.
just
Only
under.
an hour 50 by the time we finish.
Just under. Let's see how quickly we can get through this wrap up. All right, that is all that we have time for. Thanks for listening to us today. Thanks again to JBL for sponsoring the podcast once again. Of course.
You didn't mention at the top, did you?
No, but we played the little stinger at the top, so that's okay.
Right, okay.
Yeah. The podcast goes out every single Monday on all podcasting platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and Audible. The visual element is also available to view on YouTube. Same day, same time, except Patreon supporters get that 2 days earlier for early access on the Saturday. So if you want to support over on Patreon, head to patreon.com/Dave Lee Down Under for as little as $1 a month.
Cheaper.
Thank you very much. Of course, the new video podcasts are on the new channel as well, so I'd appreciate subscribes and views and stuff over there because we get the monetization back up.
Yep.
You can find me on YouTube at Dave
And
Lee.
when you go over there and watch it, watch the whole thing.
Yeah, watch the whole thing.
Don't open it
Yeah.
and just let it run.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Not watch
Don't
it.
do that.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Not allowed to tell you to
do
do that. You can find me on YouTube at Dave Lee Down Under, over on Twitter, Instagram. The links in the description of all the podcasts for all my links, all that kind of shit. If you want to write into the show, you can shoot an email to daveleepod@gmail.com. If you have written an email to me recently, I will write back to you. YouTube preview. Last week, of course, I dumped my Space Jam trailer reaction. You can check that out if you like. I pick it apart as well as I can. There's a couple of Space Jam news videos I did. I did a news video on the new Powerpuff Girls live-action reboot. I did a news video on the new Hotel Transylvania 4. I did that last night.
Yep.
So you can check all that up. I finally got my Pixar Dark Age ranking up. It was a big week on the channel. This week is probably not going to be as big. I'll have my review for Disney Plus's Big Shot on Monday, which had a really great trailer. I'll also be doing some exciting interviews this week.
Yeah, you have to.
I don't want to reveal anything just yet, just in case it all falls apart at the last minute.
Exactly right.
But I've got one really big one this week coming up that I'm really excited about.
And you can use footage from that too, can't you?
I believe so. Yeah, they asked me if I wanted to do it as a video or an audio, and I said video.
Yeah.
So I get it. I get 45 minutes with them.
Wow.
It's going to be huge. I'm really, really excited about it. I'm shitting my pants because I haven't done one so long before. But I'm really excited, and I'm going to have so much to talk with about this person. I'm allowed to talk about anything.
Yeah.
It's just like basically a PR push for
Private
this person.
life, the whole bit.
The whole thing, I'm allowed to touch on some private stuff this person's been through recently. His recent TV projects, his classic. This guy's been around for a long, long time. Allowed to talk about stuff he's done at the beginning of his career, new career. He wrote a book recently. I'm allowed to talk about it. I'm so excited. It's like no holds barred. I cannot wait, but I'm not going to reveal who it is just in case it falls apart at the last minute.
Right.
But I'm so excited about that. They reached out to me and were like, "Would you like to do this interview?" I was like, "Oh yeah,
exactly.
Very excited. Just jump at the chance." Yeah, so I'm excited for that one, and I know my audience will be very, very, very excited. to hear me talk with this person.
Good.
So other than that, I'm not sure if that's going to go up this week, but that's happening this week. I think this week there'll probably just be some news bits and stuff going up. I'm not too sure. The week after will be my first cartoon, will be my next cartoon evolution. I'm very excited. Haven't announced it just yet. I'll probably announce that during this week, actually. Very excited about that. You guys will love it as well. That's it, though, guys. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks, old mate Rick, for joining me once again.
Dave.
And it's time to get lunch because I'm fucking starving.
Yeah, I'm hungry too.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Burritos?
Burrito time, yeah.
Ooh, awesome.
Give you a little glass chink. Not that we do that at the end of every show, but let's go. All right, see you later.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Okay,
guys.
Thanks, guys.